Well, it was supposed to be the new Finland, but it fell apart in just 5 years. On November 29, 1901, Sointula off northeast Vancouver Island was born. It survives today, but is not the commune it was over a century ago. Bruce Kirkpatrick reports.
It was to be a utopia off the rugged northeast coast of Vancouver Island, created by immigrants from Finland looking for a better life. They called it Sointula, Place of Harmony, a commune on Malcolm Island established 111 years ago this week. They built a cannery and sawmill. They logged and farmed, sharing everything.
Hardworking citizens prepared to take on the task of building communities in the north. They were all members of a temperance society, highly educated. They passed the hat to found the first Finnish language newspaper in British Columbia.
A replica bench, part of the Royal BC Museum's collections, was built in the 1960s. It's of the type used by fishermen of Newfoundland over a century ago.
You're feeding your twine right out through here that you're using to repair the net. You're taking your net and you're putting it up here and you're stretching the part you're going to repair between these two hooks, so it's holding it in place while you're working on it and reknotting it.
For 5 years, the Finnish settlers survived, but by 1905, their hopes of finding their utopia were doomed.
In part, it was money, it was disagreements over women's rights and free love, it was the loss of settlers, it was a terrible fire in 1903 that destroyed the main communal building, and 11 people lost their lives that day at Cedar Hall. But it was a great experiment, and one of many groups that have come to BC with ideas of utopia.
Lumber from their sawmill was seized by creditors. They voted to go into receivership. And while Newfoundland collapsed, Sointula remains today a village of 800. Some descendants of the original settlers still live here from a new Finland that began and ended over a century ago.
This Week in History, brought to you by the Royal BC Museum, bringing British Columbia's stories together.